The name St. Moritz conjures up wonderful pictures of the rich at play, of sporting moments in the snow, of dash and daring and the famous Cresta Run. At speeds of up to 200 miles an hour, they hurtle down this ice. Winter sports had their origins in this charming Swiss location. They even raced their horses in the frozen lake. 2,000 meters on the rooftop of Europe sits St. Moritz, 25 crystal-clear mountain lakes in the area with a champagne climate that bubbles with joy. The timeless charm of Switzerland is caught here. 3 countries, 3 cultures, 5 languages that mix together in harmony. But now this tranquil Swiss village is preparing for the greatest sporting event of the year, the Fiat Snooker-Pool Challenge, between 2 global sporting superstars. Now at stake is $80,000 and world supremacy in the sport on the green bays. From the United Kingdom comes Steve Davis, 4 times world snooker champion, a man who plays his sport with chilling efficiency. He's Britain's richest sportsman, but he's still lean, hungry and dangerous. I've been talking to Steve. He's very laid back today. He said you're going to beat him.
Well, what can I say? No, it's Steve's game. He's been playing it all his life. He may have had a long trip out and a bit of jet lag, but that doesn't stop somebody grinding somebody into the ground that's perhaps played the game a few times in their life.
From the United States of America, the awesome figure of Steve Mizerak, 3 times world pool champion. He shoots pool with devastating speed and accuracy, and says in brazen American tones,
"I'm not going to beat Davis. I'm going to annihilate him. I'm going to break every bone in his body if I don't win."
They meet first across the pool table in straight pool. Then it's snooker, and the climax, the final encounter, is 9-ball. The ultimate challenge to become the world's greatest cue master is being watched across 4 continents. The eyes of the sporting world are focused on St. Moritz.
Number 8, Vincent Gloria and Eddie Nelson.
Moments from the highly successful film Colour of Money. And here in the Embassy Room in the Palace Hotel, where the Fiat Challenge will unfold, we have one of the stars of that film, Steve Mizerak. Steve, here to play straight pool, not to act.
Paul, you treat me so nicely by saying that I'm a star of the movie. If you blink your eyes, I was gone. But it's nice to play opposite Paul Newman.
He shoots good pool, does he?
Yes, he does.
Well, you're going to take us through the rules of straight pool now. What's the basic aim?
Well, we play 14-1. For every ball you pocket, you get 1 point. You pocket 14, leave 1 ball on the table to break them for the next rack, and you continue on. First 1 to 75, that's what we're playing, wins the game.
Sounds very straightforward. We're set up for a break, the start of play?
Right. Better than tell you, why don't I show you?
Fine.
Okay. I'll give you a wide open break.
And the cue ball, or what I would call the cue ball, can be shot from any area behind the white line.
Right. Okay. That's what we call a wide open break. And I just did that to get the balls open. See, now I would nominate a ball and a pocket. I would say 9-ball, side pocket.
Hold on, Steve. I've already potted 2 balls. Is that 2 points?
Okay. But this is for demonstration purpose, okay? We're not really playing a game, and all I'm doing is showing you how to score a point, okay? We make the 9 in the side. That's 1, okay? Play position for another ball. 3 in the side. That's 2. But suppose you play the 1 in the side, and instead of hitting it in the side, it goes back in this side. It doesn't count, okay? It gets spotted right here, and your opponent shoots. But remember, 1 point for each ball pocketed in the designated pocket. Until we get to 75, there won't be a winner.
What happens if you plant a ball in the pocket from one of the other balls?
you still get it. If I say to you, if the balls wind up like this, and I say 2 ball on the side, the blue ball, and I hit it off the 1, the yellow, it still counts, just as long as the ball you designate goes in the pocket you designate. Now, if I take the yellow ball and I say, yellow ball in this pocket, and I miss that pocket and hit it over there, and it winds up going in that pocket that way, it still counts, just as long as you designate the ball and the pocket.
A very simple and basic game.
Very simple.
So what's the skill? Looking for the position in the next ball?
The skill is looking for the position on the next ball, plus when all the balls get off the table, you have to have a break ball. And the break ball goes into the other balls. That's where you get your run of 75. And I predict one of us, either Steve or myself, preferably myself, will run the 75.
Be more specific. Will it be you?
Yes.
We look forward to that,
yes,
Steve.
Thank you.
Here's Steve Davis, just 29 years old, from Rumford, England. The highest paid sportsman in Great Britain.
Absolutely. It's incredible, isn't it?
His manager told me he's earning approximately $2 million a year, which would put him in the category of a Larry Bird or one of the United States outstanding athletes.
Yes, of course, not many people realize throughout the world that snooker, in fact, is the most popular sport on British television. And that's all happened in probably the last 7 or 8 years.
And in fact, Davis has certainly benefited from the snooker explosion. He is the #1 snooker player in the world since 1981, and he's won 4 World Snooker Championships in 1981, 83, 84, and 87, winning his latest last May at Sheffield.
Right, now there nice position. He's getting the benefit of what Steve Mizerak did. He pushed this ball into the break position.
Steve Davis went to school on Mizerak's last inning.
He's just come a little bit more to the right of the table than he would have liked, and he would have liked to have left himself a little bit nearer to the ball. And of course this really is a challenge for Steve Davis, is having to try and work it out as he goes along. He's very little experience at straight pool, but he's such a good cueist. He's certain to give a good account of himself.
Rex, you have said that as a snooker player, Davis has one of the smoothest strokes and most consistent strokes in all of England, and in fact the world, as he makes his break shot.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anyone play the game who has a cue action as good as Steve Davis.
Davis cuts it into the side pocket. Now he's left the cue ball. Well, he left himself in good position, actually, for a shot at the 7. Now it's time to contemplate his next shot.
Yes, since we've been here, of course, I've been doing a little bit of practice with Steve Davis. And in fact, we practiced until the early hours of the morning. And Steve actually ran 81 balls against me, which is quite a performance for someone who's not experienced in the game.
And we should tell our U.S. audience, Rex, that you are 14 years a world billiard champion, and you are the number 12 ranked snooker player in all the world right now.
Yes, even I'm surprised at that, Pat.
Davis with a 13-ball edge over Mizerak. The first player to reach 75 will win the game. Best of 3.
These are not easy to sort out. He's got 2 balls out in the open, but the ball to the right of the triangle he would have liked to have left as a break ball, but I don't think he can, because he's got to split those other 5 balls. None of those balls will go. 13. So he's having to use the break ball here to split that cluster of 5 balls.
Davis with a nice cut shot.
Unfortunately, he hasn't got an ideal break ball at the moment. He tried to just, that's a very good shot. He just nudged that 9 ball, the yellow ball to the left of the triangle, just nudged it across to leave that as the break ball.
Steve Mizerak looking on now, maybe a bit surprised because Davis has put together a run of 15 balls this inning. And Mizerak knows he can't win sitting in the chair.
Very lonely spot.
16.
Davis has captured 46 major snooker titles.
11 balls, corner pocket.
And is proving himself to be a shot maker in straight pool.
Well, we now get into the critical point now, and Steve just having to try and work this out. Doesn't look as though it's easy for him.
Davis had told us he had not played much straight pool in the past, a few times, a few games, and it's here where the combinations of shots and the shot making and the forethought of planning 3, 4, 5 shots ahead has to be very difficult for Davis.
Yes, of course, he's played a bad shot there. Left himself too near the side cushion or the side rail. He's got to force this ball now around 2 cushions.
He'll take the 15 ball as his key shot. Perhaps, no, maybe some second thoughts. And leave the 9 ball for his break shot.
Yes, this is a tough one now. He wanted to come out off the cushion there a little bit. And he hasn't got a good angle. He's even thinking about leaving the 9 ball into the side pocket. Now, has he got the angle? I don't think he has. He must now, the only chance that he's got to disturb anything here, I think now, is to pop the 9 ball into the corner pocket. And I think he might be too straight on this 9 ball to do that. So Steve could be out of business after this shot.
Davis has run off 19 balls in this inning, or this trip to the table, leading Mizerak by 21 balls, and this is the first game of the challenge. And I have to believe Steve Mizerak is a bit perplexed now, sitting in the chair watching Davis, who's put together a nice run. In an average world championship event for straight pool, the average run for a player at the table might be 20 balls. Mizerak told me beforehand that a 20-ball run is a very comfortable and really a very outstanding achievement. Davis has 19 this evening. Make it 20.
That's a good shot.
And he got into the rack enough to leave himself a few shots.
I suppose it was a little bit unorthodox, the way that he got onto that break ball, but all the same, he's still back at the table, and Steve Mizerak is still sitting in his seat. And not looking terribly happy at the moment. Just left a little angle on the ball at the back of the bunch of balls.
15 corner pocket.
He calls the 15 in the corner pocket.
Trying to get into them to split something.
23.
He's got the 2 ball into the corner pocket. That's the blue ball on the top cushion.
It's interesting, straight pool players are so particular about the cue they use, but Davis told us today he's using just an old foreign pool cue, about $400, and certainly not of the category of the legendary Balabushkas or some of the finer cues made, but since straight pool is such a foreign game to him and a game he so infrequently plays, he's opted for a very average cue, but using it like a band leader's baton right now, Rex, as he orchestrates his way around the table.
And that shot that he's just played was a good shot, and there's a ball dropped perfectly into a break position, so he could continue this run for quite some time yet. The 9 ball, which is to the right of the pyramid, triangle, is an ideal ball to use as a break ball, providing that he doesn't get himself into any real trouble and have to pot that ball to get himself out of trouble. That's the ball he'll be looking at.
Davis has a 41-10 advantage over Steve Mizerak. Make it 42-10. And this has been quite a run for Steve Davis.
Now he's got a choice the way he plays here. He could screw it right back, or in America you should say a draw shot.
We should point out the balls they're playing with tonight are much larger than the snooker balls we'll see as Davis makes one. Snooker will be the second leg of this three-leg challenge.
32.
And many expected that Davis might have trouble controlling the cue ball.
Well, of course, the longer the game goes on, Pat, the more familiar that Davis will get. And of course, this is a good start. There's nothing like getting a good start in any game. And he's got a perfect angle here to leave the break shot. Good performance here by Davis. This is a very good start.
33 balls at this trip to the table. A good inning for Steve Davis.
And there could be more to come because he's in prime position here.
A run of 33 balls for Steve Davis, who wasn't supposed to be at home feeling comfortable playing straight pool. But perhaps, much to our chagrin, he has spent some time at the table playing 14-1.
34.
That nearly went astray, that shot. Didn't play a good break shot there. And he's got the cue ball very near to the corner pocket. He can pot the ball without any problem at all. The 9 ball into the opposite pocket. But he's not taking that one. He's cutting one in.
35.
Davis told us today the real mental problems or questions that he'll ask himself would be if he got close to 75 points first. He really didn't expect it to be in this position. Now that he's within reach of winning the first game, now he may start second-guessing himself or start worrying about his next shot, next 2 shots, next 3 shots. This will be the mental pressure that Davis will face.
Yes, of course, one thing about Steve Davis, the mental pressure at this game is exactly the same that in snooker, and of course he's used to that, and he's got a very good temperament, so I don't think he'll be too worried about that. He's great under pressure, and of course he's knocking a lot of very good shots in here. That's because of that perfect cue action that he's got.
Cut the 1 ball into the corner pocket nicely. Leading by 40 balls, 50-10 in game 1.
$14 side pocket.
Davis will take the 14 ball to the side pocket.
39.
Side pocket that gave Steve Mizerak problems early in this game, and is the reason why Mizerak is in the chair right now. Mizerak, of course, starred in The Color of Money, or at least had a cameo appearance, and was a technical advisor behind the scenes, orchestrating the pool played by Paul Newman and Tom Cruise.
41.
And Davis has got another ideal break ball to the left of the triangle. And he's just having a look where he thinks the head of the triangle, the balls will be, what sort of shot he requires on that ball. And just at this stage, he'll be just trying to work out the sequence that he wants to
Full ball corner pocket.
pocket these balls to finish up on that final ball. He'll pop the 9 ball, I would think, now into the other corner pocket. Didn't quite come far enough to get the ball into the top right-hand corner pocket.
Davis takes the 9.
43.
A run of 43 balls for Steve Davis. There is a reason why he has won 46 major titles as a snooker player, and obviously a very skilled pool player.
This time he'll come back off the top cushion to leave a choice of the 2 balls that are together. Just
45.
With the help of the bridge, Davis makes it 45 this inning, leading 57-10. So Davis closing in on the 75 points he needs to win the first game.
And what a good performance this is. He's left himself again an ideal break ball. So just needing 16 more points to win this first game.
And Steve Mizerak did not think he would be sitting as longly as he has. Now the object here for Davis is to pocket this ball and to get the cue ball back into the rack, and he has done it nicely. Davis just 15 balls away from winning the first game of the challenge.
7 ball corner pocket.
He'll take the 7 ball in the corner pocket. And with the draw,
49.
leaves himself the 11, perhaps.
To win at this visit to the table, Davis has still got the problem of having to clear this rack and also pocket a few balls from another rack. So he's still got to
8 ball side
manipulate another break ball.
50.
But this is a great performance.
He's run off 50 balls this inning. 14 in this corner pocket.
Needs to disturb a few balls here, and I think he's doing that with this shot.
Tough cut shot, but he pockets the 11.
He's got 2 balls just together on the top cushion, or the top rail, which he needs to move.
10 balls left on the table. Davis with 64, so he'll need another rack before he can go out.
$53.
53 balls run by Steve Davis.
And Steve really could do with leaving the 9 ball, the ball which is near the top right-hand corner pocket, there, but he's forced into potting it.
54.
And don't think he can pot the 3 ball, or is it the 7 ball, into the top left-hand corner pocket. It's a very fine cut.
And he pockets the 3.
55.
This is the area that we talked about, Rex, where Davis may begin to second-guess his shot selection. He's close. He's got a tremendous advantage over Steve Mizerak, one that I don't believe he thought he'd have. And now he has to worry about the sequence in which he takes the balls.
56.
Well, one thing is certain, Pat, and if Davis doesn't win at this visit to the table, Mizerak will have to run out in one visit, because he certainly can't afford to let Davis get back to the table should Davis miss before he wins this game. Fortunately, he had to got himself tied up a little bit there, had to move the ball that he was open to leave for the break ball.
Davis 6 balls away from the magic 75 figure that will win this first game.
1 ball side pocket.
Can only get 74 points with the 5 balls left on the table, so he's still got to get another break.
10 ball corner pocket.
This shot is missable.
The 10 ball in the corner pocket. But he makes it.
And he's getting himself tied up a little bit here now. He's running into difficulties.
He's had a run of 58 balls, much to the dismay of Steve Mizerak. Now Davis looking over what he's left himself with a bit of consternation.
This is a tough one.
And Davis ends his run, trying to cut the 9 into the corner pocket. And Steve Mizerak is quickly up off the chair. But Davis with a considerable lead, 70 balls to 10.
I was shaking in my boots.
You were enjoying it, Steve.
I loved it. I'm delighted to have won one frame. I mean, to win a 75 up, I mean, I was delighted. And I made a 50-odd.
You were delighted.
I was delighted. And but
you
having
said
that, I was delighted.
I wasn't too delighted.
No, you wasn't. But having said that, Steve was under a lot of pressure to show his mastery, especially when he's supposed to win the straight ball. I'm supposed to win the snooker. So in that first game, really, you saw Steve finding his feet.
And I didn't have any feet the first game.
I was just I was on a sort of a shot to nothing. It was like a free shot at the basket.
But you had your chances in the third game, and ultimately I think you lost it because of the lack of experience and safety play.
No, I think the game, I made a very bad mistake. I think Steve would agree. I played a 2-ball set, a 2-ball combination, and I didn't really take enough care. And at that stage, I was still in with a fair shout.
Yeah. Right. The thing that really hurt him was when he scratched 3 in a row. And the strategy play there, he did not know basically what to do. And if he knew what to do, he could have tied me up in knots like I tied him up in knots.
But he's a great sport because I made a mistake in the calling in one of the shots that may have been shown through the highlights. But it was nice.
Be careful! I won't do it again.
No, it's right. Well, I shall obviously give you one free shot in the snooker to make up.
I'm going to need more than one, so be careful.
Welcome to St. Moritz and the second leg of the Fiat Pool Challenge. Hi everyone, I'm Pat Scanlon. It's in this peaceful alpine setting that 2 of the best billiards players in all the world are vying for $80,000. Steve Mizerak from the United States and Steve Davis from Great Britain. It's a unique 3-event competition. Straight pool, which went to Mizerak. Tonight's game, which is snooker, favors Davis. And the third leg will be the wide-open game of 9-ball.
Steve Mizerak's cueing is okay. It's straight enough probably to play snooker to a standard, but because of the fact he doesn't understand the tactics, where to put the white ball for a safety shot, that gives him a feeling of inferiority. Really, I mean, you're in that situation that you're thinking, am I making a mistake? And that's not really the attitude to make when you're getting down before you play the shot. You know, it's okay saying, oh, I've made a mistake afterwards, but that's a bad attitude to have. But unfortunately, it's what's going to happen.
The strategy, I know. The potting, for me, will be tough on the big football field. I call it a football field because it's almost 2 feet, 3 feet longer than the table that we're used to playing on. And if you notice one thing, I wear these all the time except when I'm not playing. And I don't wear contacts when I play. So the extra length hurts me a little bit because I can't see the end of the table. So I do it by instinct. I've been doing it so long, I said to myself, I shouldn't use the glasses or I shouldn't get contacts. So I just play, I play and hope.
If it was a week before the World Championships, our most serious time of the year, and I played Steve, I could probably almost guarantee it would be 5-0. But we're in the middle of our summer break. I don't play seriously snooker in the same way. I don't practice as hard. I still play. I do a few exhibitions. But I've also played 3 days of American pool with a pool cue in my hand. So my snooker cue has been defunct upstairs for 3 days. So I'm going to have to practice for an hour today to try and get back to the size of the English snooker table again to remind me what's happening. But I still think it's going to be a comfortable victory.
He's not going to paralyze me because I've never played against him and I really don't know what to expect. I'm going into this match as a distinct underdog this time. So I have everything to gain and nothing to lose. Hey, go for it. That's it. That's all I can tell you. Sylvester Stallone said, go for it. And that's what I'm going to do. Go for it.
Our game tonight is snooker. It's a complex English game that involves more strategy than straight pool or 9-ball, the other two legs of our challenge. Who better to tell us about this complex game than our expert commentator, Rex Williams. Rex is a 14-time World Pro Billiards champion, and he's also the 12th ranked snooker player in all the world. Rex?
Thank you, Pat. Well, we have the balls set up at the moment for the start of a game of snooker. The value of the balls, the reds are worth 1 point, the yellow 2 points, green 3 points, brown 4 points, the blue 5 points, pink 6 points, and the black is worth 7 points. The colours are on their designated spots. And the method of scoring at snooker, you must pot a red, first of all, which then must be followed by a colour. The colour then is returned from the pocket back onto its designated spot. And then you continue potting reds and colours until all the reds have disappeared. Perhaps we could ask Steve Davis just to come along and demonstrate the actual scoring methods. A red into the centre pocket. And he's used a little draw on the cue ball to get positioned nicely on the blue. The red, of course, now stays in the pocket. The blue is returned back to its spot, and he's played position now onto another red. Just having to decide which is the best red to pot to get the appropriate position. Again, he's played for the blue. The blue again is returned to his spot, and having potted 2 reds and 2 blues, his score would now be 12 points. Another red, 13 points, and this time he's played for position on the black ball.
Or the pink.
Or the pink. He's playing the pink into the centre pocket. Score now 19 points. Pink is worth 6, and that is also returned back to its spot. This time, Steve is playing a red to get position on the black ball. Score now 20 points, and of course the black is worth 7. And still in prime position, and of course from a position like this, Steve would expect to go on and win the game.
Now, Rex, it is more advantageous to pocket the different colored balls of the higher value than it would be the lower value as the yellow, the green, the brown.
Very much so, Pat, because obviously the higher value points, you build your score very much quicker, and it is the player that finishes with the highest number of points at the end of the frame that actually wins the frame. And of course we can imagine that Steve has now potted all the reds, and he's on the final red, and at this stage again he must play for a colour, and on this occasion he's played for the green, and at this point the green is returned back to the spot. Now he must pot the colours in their numerical order.
Yellow being first.
Yellow being first. Worth 2, followed by green 3, brown 4, blue 5, pink 6, and the black 7. And from this position, normally, Steve wouldn't have too many problems. Now, of course, at this stage of the game, the yellow stays in the pocket. He's gone a little bit too far, so he's just putting it back in position as he would normally have left the cue ball. The colours now stay in the pockets.
Okay, Rex, now let's see the shot for which the game is named, the snooker.
Well, the balls are perfectly placed here for Steve to play a snooker. He can't pop the red. It's too difficult. It would be too dangerous. So he's playing onto the red to leave a snooker behind the black. This, of course, now puts his opponent in quite a lot of trouble because his opponent must hit the red, and he could possibly create an opening for himself to go on and win the frame.
And, of course, the game of snooker played on a table that measures 6 feet by 12 feet, and that is large by American standards, Rex.
Very large pattern. Of course, we play with very small pockets. The pockets are only 3.5 inches, and I think that's probably what makes this game the most difficult game on a billiards table.
Steve Davis, thanks for your explanation and shooting. And Rex and I will explain more of the finer points of the game as we play.
Pat Scanlon here with Rex Williams, the chairman of the World Pro Billiard and Snooker Association, as we get set for the second leg of this challenge. Steve Mizerak, 42 years old, from Edison, New Jersey, will break.
Yes, and Mizerak will be just catching the outside of the triangular reds. And a little bit unorthodox, that break, compared with the way that the English professionals break, but certainly very effective. And Steve Davis, the current world snooker champion, playing just to drop onto that red and keeping it perfectly safe. There is a red that will go into the center pocket, the red which is close to the pink. He can play that red and take the cue ball to the bulk end of the table, and there is a possibility that he will get it safe should he miss it, but he refuses it and plays a safety shot.
Last night it was Mizerak feeling at home playing the American game of straight pool. Now it is a game that favors Davis tonight, snooker.
Yes, and Steve Davis is a master of the safety art of snooker. And as you say, Pat, in the last match he was really struggling to get to grips with the safety tactics, and he really was, I suppose one would have to say, outmaneuvered by Mizerak. And Mizerak, of course, will be facing the same problems this evening.
Mizerak felt the pressure early in the first game last night, feeling that he had to do well in straight pool, the game in which he's favored. We'll see if that pressure reverses itself tonight, and it's Davis who is favored. He may feel a little tightness.
Yes, Mizerak really needs to get away to a good start. And that's a good shot there that Mizerak's played. He's played to pot the red, but getting a tremendous amount of screw on the cue ball, bringing it right back to the bulk end of the table, and he's got Davis in a little bit of a problem here. Can't get at that red that's lying over the pocket. Well, Davis had a problem there, tried to play the one red onto the other red, but it was very difficult from where he was cueing.
Note the cue that Mizerak is playing with. It is a standard American pool cue, 59 inches in length and 21 ounces, which is much heavier than the 16.5-ounce snooker cue used by Davis.
1.
Well, this is a chance here for Mizerak. Nicely onto the pink. And talking about the cue, we did discuss it, Steve Mizerak and myself, today. And he said that he thought he would feel more comfortable playing with the pool cue. He's so used to that. And of course,
7.
Another very big difference is that the tip end of the cue is probably around about 13mm on the pool cue against 10mm on the snooker cue.
8.
Davis now finds himself in the position that he found himself in, and Mizerak found himself in last night, sitting and watching and wondering how Mizerak will adapt to the game.
And that's a sensible shot there from
Steve
Steve
Mizerak.
Mizerak.
8.
Could have played a very fine cut on the pink into the centre pocket, but decided to opt for safety, and it's a good one. Well, a dreadful mistake there from Davis, and then really just fluked into the centre pocket.
Apologise.
So that's unlucky for Mizerak, because this is now a great opening for Davis. I'm not sure if the black will go into the top right-hand corner pocket. Steve just coming round, decided to play for the black on the other side. That's cleared the black now into both
9.
corner pockets. So I'll be surprised now if Davis doesn't make a few from here. Choice of 3 reds here.
16. 17.
24. Screwing the cue ball back a little bit.
25.
25. Choice of reds again. Red into the corner or red
32.
to the centre.
This has to be tremendously relaxing for Davis now. Finally his shot.
Well, again, you see, very important to get away to a good start, and that was the problem that Mizerak had in the straight pool match. He didn't get away. This is certainly making Davis feel very much more relaxed. He's played a bad shot there.
40.
He can still pop this red, but didn't intend to be cutting it back quite as acutely as this.
41.
The cue ball covered the black spot there, so it had to be placed onto the high spot available, which was the pink.
48.
So the break goes to 48.
49. 56. 57.
So this black will mean that Mizerak will now require snookers. And Davis is not finished yet.
64.
Well, he's realizing how tough snooker is now against
65.
The greatest player in the world. Can't afford to make any mistakes. In fact, he didn't make a mistake. Davis got this from an outrageous fluke.
72. Steve Davis, 72.
Well, tremendous break of 72 there from Davis after that opening fluke. No chance that Mizerak now can win this frame. Only a possible 43 points left on the table. And Mizerak is trailing by 64 points. So Davis feeling a little more relaxed. Well, Mizerak again using a different kind of break than what the normal professional snooker player uses, but it's certainly a good one again. He's got it into the right position. And the ball's nicely spread open this time. Davis will be eager to get amongst them. And this man certainly hasn't had any running at all in this match so far. Davis getting flukes just at the right time. Well, Davis deciding to have a go at that. He was hoping to go onto the black had he have got it, but again, he's very fortunate the way he's got away with it. He's certainly getting good running in this match so far. Good shot there from Mizerak. Would like to have gone just a few more inches to have been in a position to pop the blue and get onto the red, which is to the left of the pink. Was straight on the blue, so can only just screw back, and has now had to leave himself a little bit further away from this red than he would have liked to have done.
Seven.
It's a good shot that he's played there, but got himself too near the side cushion. And this is a difficult shot. Blue into the center. It's a good shot. But that was the problem, being so near to the cushion, he couldn't control the cue ball. There is a red that will go, but he can't get onto a colour. And he would be well advised here to play a safety shot. Could be disastrous if he misses this. Another good shot. Green into the centre.
16.
So this will be making Mizerak feel very much better. He's spotted some very good balls, but he's still struggling.
Blue ball.
But he's having a go at this blue into the corner pocket.
In the U.S., Mizerak is noted as an offensive player, a player who takes chances around the
22.
table. Certainly benefited him over his career. He's won over 67 major championships, his first back in 1969 in the Salt City Open.
There's been a lot of safety in this match so far, Pat, more than we would normally get. What are your impressions as far as the American audiences are concerned?
22. Steve Mizerak.
Would it be a quick enough game for them?
Well, I think, Rex, after the play is picked up a little bit, then it feels like the pacing one would experience in sport in America. But I think the early safety play would wear thin.
Yes. Yes, it does get very exciting at times, particularly when we're playing in some of our major tournaments, and it comes to the final stages of a match, and the safety can, to us, be just as exciting as the potting.
And of course, the strategy involved in snooker is very interesting. And I don't think it's that more complicated than perhaps playing straight pool, the combinations, the planning of shots ahead. And I think given a chance, Mizerak could really excel at a game like this, and so could the American players.
Yes, I think you're right there, because they all putt so well. And he's knocked some good putts in this frame so far. And there's a very good chance here that Mizerak could take this frame from this position. He's getting a little bit more confident now.
Leading 29-0. Third frame.
8.
Unfortunately, he couldn't get onto the right side of the blue there, so the cue ball is now going away from the reds. So if he wants to get nicely on a red, he's got to force the cue ball in and out of bulk. But he decided that that wasn't worth the risk and left himself this long red into the
13.
top left-hand corner pocket.
Oh, I can't reach it again.
And he's potting really well now.
14.
Well, Mizerak was quick to tell people,
19.
I may surprise you at snooker. And perhaps Steve Davis now wondering, feeling the same thing that Mizerak felt last night when Davis reeled off 58 straight balls.
Yes, well, I played Mizerak many years ago, and I knew then that he can play snooker. He hasn't had much chance in this match so far. He's had a bad run, but he's certainly showing us now that he can play.
Roll.
That's unlucky.
25.
Referee Len
Touching
Ganley calls it a touching ball.
And I think Mizerak said, what does that mean?
Clear away from the ball, directly up.
Of course, in America they
shot, yes.
call that being frozen, and they have to actually make the ball move in America. But of course, in Britain, a touching ball you must play away. Referee Len Ganley just keeping a close eye on the proceedings.
Are you happy with that, Mr. Davis? What's that?
25.
What was that?
Just letting you know the rules.
Oh, thank you.
25, Steve Mizerak.
So a useful lead here for Steve Mizerak
Steve
in
Davis
this
knows
third
four.
frame.
Steve Mizerak, 47.
Can we play now?
If he can take this frame, he'll certainly start to feel very much more happy and relaxed. Well done.
5.
That means that Davis requires 2 snookers.
59 plays 37.
13 and 37. Can't get to 59, right? Not yet.
Mizerak was a former history teacher, mind you, not arithmetic, as he adds up the potential score left on the table.
5, Steve Mizerak.
Well, Davis requiring 2 snookers. That's a sensible shot.
Get in. Yes, get in.
6 and frame, Steve Mizerak.
Steve says, did I win?
So Mizerak eventually taking a frame. The score's now 2-1 to Steve Davis. And what a good performance that was, Pat, for Steve Mizerak and he potted some tremendous balls there. Played really well. I'm sure he must be feeling very much more comfortable and happy and relaxed now.
Mizerak winning 59 to 43. In the uncertainty, he really didn't know, Rex, that he'd won his first frame.
No, I think he was so surprised. But he did show there that he can play the game, and he's very inexperienced. He hasn't played a lot of snooker, but I think if he really gets down to it, he can play the game really well.
Even though the match was 4-1, I made it fairly competitive. And in the first 2 frames, Steve accidentally made a ball and, made a good run after that. If he didn't accidentally make the ball, I was still in the game.
He played good safety play, didn't he, Steve?
Yeah, he did. He played very, very good. And to win 1 frame and win it very well as well was excellent. And he hit the ball very well tonight. And I was pleased for Steve. He did very well. I felt, from my point of view, I was under quite a deal of pressure that I'd never been under before. Was the pressure of having to try and make a game look good, or feeling inside.
Well, you made it look good.
feeling inside that I had to make it look good, perhaps for the people that were going to watch in America. That was quite a pressure, I think. But
you weren't potting so well.
Not up to the usual standards, no.
I would hate to see him up to the usual standards. I would be so frightened I would not want to come in the same room.
But you talked this morning of a fear of the big table not being able to make the long pots, but you did do the long pots tonight.
I'll tell you what hurt me, that long rest, as you call it. We call it a long bridge. When I used it twice. I couldn't see the end of the cue. I mean, it was so hard to even see.
He doesn't go that far on his holidays.
That's right. I can't hit a golf ball that far.
Do you think he's got potential in this game, Steve?
Well, he's a great cueist. To get to the top of straight pool in America means you understand what snooker balls or pool balls do.
Answer the question. Answer the question.
It would be tough for Steve to take up snooker because it's in England now. There's so many young kids can play the game to a higher degree. But he played tremendous. I was very pleased for him.
I'm going to try to qualify for the World Championships.
That's right. Steve is going to play in the World Championships this year.
And I'm going to keep trying and trying until I'm 75. And if I don't make it when I'm 75, I'll try till I'm 85. 85, I'll stop.
What you've got to do is take a rest home and practice with the rest.
Oh, thanks a lot.
That's right.
Well, you're back to the small table and the bigger holes for the 9-ball.
Thank goodness.
Looking forward to that, Steve?
Well, I am actually. I got for the last 3 days, I've got quite used to it. I think it was a bit like a football field for me, the snooker table. But I'm looking forward to playing 9-ball. I think it could be a sort of it could be a tough match for Steve.
How important is this challenge match for you?
It's always important to win. I think there's no point in entering anything if you don't win. You've got to be realistic and say that Mizerak is a heavy favourite with 2 pool disciplines and only 1 snooker. But it's important if the American markets understand and appreciate a little bit more about the talents of someone like Steve Davis. The possibilities for our game on the back of Steve's success could be enormous.
I've been watching you sitting in the hall watching Steve play. Now, what sort of things go through your mind? What do you think when he misses?
Oh, I cringe. And while he's playing, I sit there with my fingers crossed and I pray a lot. In fact, for the straight pool, I usually keep score. And I started keeping score. And then when Steve Davis won the first game, I was just a total wreck. I couldn't keep score anymore. And I just had to go into my normal procedure of crossing the fingers.
Which Steve is it going to be?
Well, you have to fancy Mizerak. 2 pool disciplines to 1 snooker. But, the ginger fella's getting the hang of this game. I wish it's always if only we'd had a few more days. And with Steve's schedule, it's totally impossible. I mean, he's been training hard since he's been here. But Mizerak's been playing the game for 40 years. So he's got just that slight edge. It may take Davis another week before he could beat him. But you never know. He might spring a surprise in the last leg.
They say in America that Steve Mizerak is the man who loves to show off. Does he show off at home?
Definitely. He's just a natural. I'm not saying it because he's my husband. It's just because this is it. It's a fact that Steve, what he does when he does an exhibition or anything regarding pool, he's just a natural with the crowd. He has such a good rapport with the crowd. Better than anyone I could think of in the United States. He's just the top man in that field. And he loves it and thrives on it.
Is he going to win the big challenge match?
Of course. Is there any doubt?
Now I'd like to explain a little bit about the simple game called 9-ball. But first, I'd like to show you the balls. They're racked in diamond shape with the 1 on top, the 9 in the middle. We have all different numbered balls from 1 to 9 in any order. The game does not start until you hit the 1. That's why it is on top. So let me hit the 1 and start the game. All balls pocketed on the break count. If a ball is pocketed, the player keeps shooting. Now we have to go in numerical order, starting from the yellow ball, going in numerical order all the way to the 9-ball. For camera's sake, we'll shove this one in the hole. Now, the 2-ball, the blue ball in this pocket. We come over on the opposite side of the table, and we make the 3, the red ball in this pocket. Come back over, and this shot, we can pocket the 4, we could pocket the 8, or we could pocket both balls at one time. Now we shoot the 5, the orange ball in the upper corner. Now, we don't have a straight-in shot, so what we have to do is bank the 7 ball off this cushion into this pocket and play position for the yellow ball to go into this pocket. It's a very simple shot. We put the cue ball right here. But the game can end even quicker by this happening. When the 2-ball and the 9-ball wind up like this, or a lowered numbered ball, play a combination, or a cannon in British terms. Just like that. Very simple, and that's how the game is played.
and it's Mizerak who's breaking.
The object to strike the one ball at the top of the diamond. And Mizerak pocketed the 9-ball on the break. Game to Mizerak. First game of the set.
To Steve Mizerak.
And that, my friends, is how it's done quickly. Steve Davis blinked. I think he missed it, Rex.
I think we should explain to the British audiences, Pat, that providing that you hit the ball on, which is the 1 ball to start, if the 9 ball goes in, the game is immediately won. And that is a very, very, very rare occurrence.
The object to strike the 1 ball on the break. And at that point, the object to sink the balls in ascending order. 1 through 9. And the winner of the game is the person that pockets the 9 ball.
And he also breaks again.
This time, Mizerak does not sink the 9 ball, but he does pocket the 4.
And of course, having potted a ball, even though he played the 1 ball, the 4 ball went in, he still continues, but he must now play the 1 ball.
The 1 ball, the solid yellow ball, the upper left portion of your screen.
So it's the 1 ball, and they've got to be played in sequence.
Now Mizerak will go after the 2 ball, which is a dark blue ball. And of course, it is possible to play a combination shot. Mizerak, as long as he strikes the object ball first, this being the 2 ball, if he could drive the 2 ball into the 9 ball and pocket the 9, that is a winning shot as well. Mizerak does not have to call his pocket. Didn't have a good shot at the 2 ball.
Well, it was a good shot, actually, because he's played a safety shot, and this is where the tactics will come in, and this is the thing that Davis will really have to feel his way, because he won't understand the tactics in 9 ball, as Mizerak didn't really understand the tactics in snooker. So, disadvantage to Davis.
Davis, the #1 snooker player in the world now, will try to decipher an American game. He's shooting the 2 ball. Slices it nicely into the pocket. The next ball, the 3 ball, which is red.
3 ball just to the right of the cue ball. The 4 ball, of course, is the one that follows that.
And that, of course, was pocketed on the break.
So, therefore, he goes on to the 5 ball after this 3 ball.
Three ball.
Davis sinks the 3 ball. Now he'll go to the 5, which is the orange-colored ball, right next to the cue ball.
And he didn't play a good shot there, Davis. It was interesting, Pat, on the start of this game that Mizerak used a different cue, and that was because he can get more power into the shot with the cue that he wanted to break the balls with.
The object at the break is to explode the balls and hope that 1 or 2 go in. And it worked for Mizerak in the first game as he pocketed the 9 ball on the opening break.
He'll be playing the 5 ball into the corner pocket.
Five ball.
Next up for Mizerak, the green ball, the 6.
The one on the right-hand cushion, or the rail, as you would say in the United States. Down to the corner pocket. And a nice shot there.
6 ball.
And also the ball, again, the purple ball, which is into the corner pocket, the 7 ball. 8 ball into the corner pocket, and he'll be drawing the cue ball back for the 9 ball. So this is the black ball, the 8 ball.
And Mizerak looking very much at home playing 9 ball. He'll take the 9 ball now. This to win the second game of the first set.
9 ball in second game.
Here's Steve Mizerak, a 4-time U.S. Open champion. wins the second game. The first player to win 5 games will take the set. Steve Mizerak, the guy in the United States, known for just showing off. Trying to spread them out and pockets 2 balls off the break.
8 ball.
Mizerak
And 1 ball.
was made famous, Rex, by a 30-second beer commercial, in which he did a trick shot, and it changed his life. Up until that point, he had been a world billiards champion, but didn't have the fame and celebrity. At one point, he was a 7th grade history teacher at George McGinnis School in Perth Amboy, New Jersey. But he misses the shot at the 2.
He was a bit disappointed with that one because he potted the 1 ball and the 8 ball from the break, and he would have liked to have finished the match off without letting Davis get back to the table. So Davis at the point of no return. Can't afford any more mistakes.
He has to win this game to stay alive. Davis, the top snooker player in the world, playing an unfamiliar game. Lost the first 2 sets, finds himself trailing here in the third, 4 games to 3. The man that looks after Steve Davis, Barry Hearn, his manager.
I think one would have to say, Pat, that this has been a very entertaining tournament, and personally speaking, as chairman of my association, I hope that this is the forerunner of many more similar type challenge matches between our 2 countries.
Of course, your organization being the World Pro Billiard and Snooker Association. And it really has been interesting, as both players had their moments playing in the other's game. Davis played well for a stretch at straight pool, and Mizerak, in fact, demonstrated an ability at snooker.
I think they both played well at games which are very unfamiliar to them, and it's been played in tremendous spirit.
An instance of 2 world-class players rising to the occasion.
But Davis is not dead yet. Let's not write him off yet.
5 ball.
Davis has no doubt had many pressure situations in snooker competition.
Yes, indeed. He's come back from the dead before and finished up winning.
Now he only needs the 9 ball to draw even in this third set. Of course, one does not reach the World Finals every year since 1983 by folding under pressure. And Davis makes the 9 ball and even this third set at 4 games apiece. Don't nail the coffin shut yet.
Well, that was a good performance there from Steve, because every shot must have been a pressure shot. And he's very pleased with himself now. It would be very nice if he could win this game and make it 2 sets to 1. And he's got to really hammer this first ball. He's got to get 1 from the break. Doesn't want Mizerak to get to the table. And 1 goes in.
2 ball.
Looked like the 2 ball, yes. Referee Len Ganley acknowledges. Now he must come back after the 1.
That's a good shot.
1 ball.
Davis feeling more at home.
Just dropping the 3 ball into the center. Or he could even take it into the corner pocket. We're so used to playing them into the center pockets, or the side pockets you call it, but side pockets on American pool tab is a little bit more difficult. And he just
3 ball.
Not prepared to take the risk into the center.
However, the snooker table does have the smaller pockets.
Yes, but strangely enough, the side pockets on the pool tables, we find them rather difficult because of the cut of the pockets.
The way the cushions extend from the pocket.
4 ball.
Davis. Looking stronger.
5 ball.
The 6 ball is tied up by the 9 ball, but obviously the way he played that, he can pot it.
6 ball.
Now he's got to pull the cue ball back a little bit on this 7 ball to get onto the 8 ball, which is by the triangle.
7
And
ball.
he's certainly going to win this set. This is a great recovery from Davis.
8 ball.
Now the 9 ball for Steve Davis. He's got it. He's got the game in the 3rd set. So Davis on the scoreboard cuts Mizerak's lead to 2 sets to 1. Best of 5, and Davis quite happy with himself. Look of concentration. And that has been a problem for Davis. He's had difficulty on the break. Mizerak, of course, won 2 games with just 1 shot, pocketing the 9 ball on the break. That happening in the 1st set.
Played the safety there, Mizerak, but hasn't managed to snooker Davis or get the 1 ball absolutely safe. He can cut this 1 ball in, but he can't get onto the 2 ball. The 2 ball is tied up by the 8 ball. Just trying to work it out.
Mizerak has not left Davis with an easy shot.
Playing the safety shot.
So Davis drawing on his expertise as a snooker player.
Doesn't want that to go in the pocket.
Davis giving Mizerak a lesson in English, moving the shoulder.
I think Davis can just get around the ball there to hit the 1 ball. And then Ganley keeping a very close watch on the proceedings. I think one should say what a tremendous job Len Ganley has done with the pool games. He's not familiar with them, and he's really handled them well, very well indeed. He's a great snooker referee, but I think he's done very well on the pool.
Of course, in the straight pool, there was an instance over a rule interpretation which Ganley made correctly. Davis, under a technical interpretation of the rule, would have misplayed the ball he was calling. Mizerak turned around and said, "Is that the ball you were calling and playing?" And Davis said, "Yes." He said, Mizerak said, "Go ahead, Steve."
Yes, that was very sporting, and that's nice to see, and that happens in snooker all the time. It's very nice to see it also happens with the pool players. This is interesting.
So Mizerak allowing Davis the opportunity of placing the cue ball where it will do him the best.
Davis didn't realise that you could do that. It was an intentional foul, and he gave Davis the option of placing the cue ball anywhere he likes, but he pushed the other balls in a very difficult position so that if Davis does pot the 1 ball, which he will do, it's difficult for him to do anything with the 2 ball. There again, and Davis's mind at Davis's mind at snooker works like a computer, but I think at this game he's allowed to blow a fuse.
Steve Davis demonstrating the personality that has made him such a success in Great Britain. Now he'll call for the bridge. Davis trailing 4 games to 2. He cannot allow Mizerak to win another game in this set. Can he win the next 3 games to even the 9-ball competition at 2 sets apiece?
Took a risk there.
I was out in mind, huh? Yeah, that would have been a hard one.
So now Steve Mizerak, 1 game away from victory. Davis wondering if he did the right thing. Mizerak will play the 2.
True ball.
Brings it back to shoot the 3.
3 ball.
4 ball down the rail, the ball side of the table.
Four ball.
And it's Mizerak on the march.
5 ball. And he should win the match from this position.
5 ball.
6 ball lying right over the centre pocket. Just pull it back a little bit to leave an angle on the 7 ball.
6 ball.
I'm sure he would like to have pulled back a little bit further than that.
1 game for the match.
But being a left-hander, he can get over the tail without any problem at all.
Mizerak glancing up at the score. By now he is aware he needs to win this game for the set and the match. Mizerak has won 4 U.S. Open titles, 3 World Pocket Billiards Championships, and it looks like he's 1 shot away from $50,000.
I can smile now.
Mizerak looking at the 9 ball with Davis looking on. And Mizerak pockets the 9 ball. Game, set, and the Fiat challenge to Steve Mizerak, defeating Steve Davis 5 games to 2 in his 4th and deciding set. Steve accepting congratulations from wife and managers Karen Mizerak.
To make the presentation of the Fiat Challenge Trophy, here's Mr. Lazaro of Fiat UK.
Mr. Mizerak, I have the great pleasure presenting you with the Fiat Challenge Trophy. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That was a great feeling. I needed to get off to a big start, and I did. And I was very happy I did that. I wanted to win in 3 straight sets, but he came back in the 3rd set and won that set. Had to go to 4.
It couldn't have been nice sitting down and watching that, could it, Steve?
Well, I decided to play 9 ball. I think I better go into weight training because you have to hit the ball so hard at the start of the break.
Don't get as big as I.
No. But I think the good thing is that as a snooker player, I can appreciate Steve's skill. He can appreciate mine, and you really do realise how little you know about the other guy's game at competitive level. You might think you're doing okay in practice, but then you come up against the tactics and everything falls to pieces.
There was a moment I thought you were going to draw level again after you won that set, but you made a couple of mistakes and you can't do that.
That's right. No, well, one of the things is not knowing enough about the tactics doesn't put you in a confident frame of mind, and Steve knows all the tactics, and it was. I must admit, though, at the end of the day, I've enjoyed the straight pull probably more than the 9 ball, and I was talking to Steve about it, and he says that straight pull is the ultimate game, even though it's not showed on the television so much.
But you looked at your happiest in this event. You looked happier than the straight pull.
Why? Oh, who? Me?
You did, Steve, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because I knew going into it, I knew everything about the game, and he didn't know much about the game. He makes everything on the table, but if he's behind balls and there's a shot that can't be made, he doesn't know what to do. Just like I didn't know what to do in snooker. Same thing.
You certainly knew what to do in the 9-ball.
Well, I got there first. That's all that counts.
He certainly knew what to do with the champagne. That's all he's given me. Look.
Here, you want some more?
Yes, please.
Here you go.
Just 2 fingers.
Two fingers?
Yeah, lovely. That's very nice. No, not over my fingers.
Here. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. I'll hold it just one second.